My name is Rhapsody, welcome back to Slay the Spire. We're going to be continuing with Watcher on Ascension 2. I'll try happily. I'll trade my opening relic. Ooh, Violet Lotus. When you exit Calm, gain an additional energy. That is very, very, very powerful. Or at the absolute least, it can be. So I'm going to try... Excuse me. A little bit of a hiccup there. I'm going to try and find a stance build. Try and put one of those together. Very, very hopeful I find the pieces for it. If you're swapping like multiple times a turn, it becomes a ridiculous amount of damage you pick up from this. Sorry, a ridiculous amount of energy, rather. I'll take a Sands of Time so that I can push through elites. Maybe I take the gold here. No, it'll be removal. I was erring on the side of the gold just in case the question mark ahead of me is a... That'll work. Just in case the question mark directly ahead of me is a shop and has a bunch of stance cards, but that's difficult to work with. I'll take Indignation as an entry to Wrath. Distilled Chaos and probably Speed Potion, maybe? No, Weakness Potion. Perfect. That gives us the energy back, and then I use that for vulnerability. Oh, sorry, that is a new card. Indignation. If you are in Wrath, apply 3 damage to all enemies. Otherwise, enter Wrath. Upgrades to 5. Ooh, ways to exit our stance as well. Beautiful. Gotta love those. I'll take an Empty Body. And I'll drop the Blessing of the Forge for the Strength Potion, specifically for upcoming fights. In particular, seems necessary. Let's take the Sands of Time upgrade for just pushing through the elites. Elite number 1. Sands of Time in the opening hand? No, dang it. Would have been incredible for us. Well, we got it in the second hand at the least. So I can Eruption, Sands of Time, then I won't be able to Vigilance afterwards, right? Yeah, I'll have 6 energy total. Okay, I guess I wait. I'm gonna exit that stance and then defend. Throw in a bunch of damage, have Sands of Time the next cycle. I'll take 1 damage in order to deal 6 here. Actually, that's fine. I'll still have Sands of Time in the next hand. That's good enough. Alright. The Courier. The merchant restocks cards, relics, and potions. All prices decreased by 20%. These are all things we've seen before as well. Do like having a good protect in the deck, obviously. If I can get the Violet Lotus, sorry, I have the Violet Lotus. If I can get the Teardrop Locket so that I start each combat in Calm, this suddenly becomes even more promising. You'll see what I'm referring to once this all comes together. Mantra, pressure points, and fasting. We might actually be able to deal with the downside of fasting eventually, so I'm going to take it. Yeah, I've seen all those cards before. Centennial Puzzle, the first time you lose HP each combat, draw 3 cards. I like that puzzle, honestly, but I'll take the Sapphire Key. So I'm going to anger the mushrooms here and fight them down just so that I can get the... Still shouldn't allow that one. So I'm going to fight them just so that I can get the relic from it. It's a pretty dang good relic. Okay. That effectively just bought us some defense, I guess. So I can Vigilance Indignation. And in fact, that might be right. Vigilance Indignation, that gives me the ability to throw out the Sense of Time. And now in Wrath, the frontliner dies to... Ooh. Just a single eruption, and then I empty body to get out of that stance. I end up taking a decent amount of damage, but you always... Not always, but you oftentimes end up taking a pretty hefty chunk of damage in this fight. You take it, though, just so that you can get the odd mushroom. When vulnerable, take 25% more damage rather than 50%. Empty Mind, exit the stance and draw 2 cards. Gotta love that. Upgrade that fasting. It's unplayable right now. Akabeko, the first attack to combat, deals 6 additional damage. 8 additional damage, rather. No, Vigilance and then Empty Mind, which will actually draw me a grand amount of cards right there. Indignation, Strike, Empty Body to exit that stance, just in case the Gremlin Knob gets any ideas. I'm gonna fasting defend here, actually. Protect and wait. And then I've got Indignation, Wrath, and Kill. Dreamcatcher, as well as... Ooh, new card. Wave of the Hand. When you gain block this turn, apply 1 weak to all enemies. Upgrades to 2 weak. That is huge and absolutely incredible. AoE weak is very, very strong, as you may imagine. I'm clearly lacking the right bits to make this build go off, but I'm very, very, very focused on trying to get specifically this build off. So hopefully it all comes together really soon. I could have used the strike there, but it doesn't matter. The enemy was already blocking for all of it. Really? Ugh. That's a yikes in this fight so far. Alright, Jill 1. Blasphemy. Enter Divinity, die next turn. Can't take that. Gotta take the Bowling Bash. I do love the Bowling Bash. It's a great card as far as I'm concerned. I'm gonna try to upgrade a card before this boss fight. Worst case scenario, I'll use my items for the... or rather, I'll use my potions to push through the fight. In fact, I probably end up using Strength Potion. You know what? Ooh, Deva Form. Gotta love that. And Interrupt the Brew to fill him back up. Set up Vulnerability. Love having a Fire Potion for this fight. It's one of my favorite pickups. Vigilance, Empty Mind just draws us a bunch of cards there. So once the enemy gets below half HP, they'll split here. Ideally, we want them to just be about to attack before we do that. Indignation, Sense of Time while vulnerable is a kill. Blasphemy, Vault, and Deus Ex Machina. So this is a new card. Vault. Take an extra turn after this one. End your turn. Upgrades only cost 2. It's really good. So I really want one of the extra energy relics here. That's the Corn Ship. It doubles the effectiveness of potions. Runic Dome, gain energy at the start of your turn. You can no longer see enemy intents. And Coffee Dripper, you can no longer rest at rest sites. I'm going to take the Runic Dome, which is very, very dangerous on this character. If you don't know the enemy is about to attack and you suddenly go into Wrath and then they hit you hard, you can place your head between your knees and kiss your butt goodbye. It's just gone. So what I'm going to try and do is point out what the enemy is going to do based on my knowledge of their attack patterns. Each and every time it is relevant. Not all of the time, though. So on the first turn, the enemy hero is usually attacking for straight up 15. So I'm going to Fasting and then Protect. 12. Okay, that is one thing. Normal enemies are deadlier, leads are deadlier, bosses are deadlier, heal less after boss battle, Stardytron damage, normal, like, all of the increased levels of Ascension change the numbers and some of the attack patterns of the enemies. I'm very, very, very comfortable with the Ascension 20 attack patterns and the Ascension 15 attack patterns. And the Ascension 20 and 15 damage numbers. I'm not comfortable with the lower stuff, so I will probably whiff a couple of those. I do apologize in advance. Pre-upgraded, Wave of the Hand. But there's a Flurry of Blows. Whenever you change stances, return this to your hand. I do like the idea of that. It's just I'm having difficulty utilizing it. I'm going to take the other Wave of the Hand for the AoE effect. I usually don't take this in higher Ascension. I'm happier taking more risks. Vajra started combat with 1 strength. Ooh, gotta love that. Speaking of taking more risks, we get to lose the next non-boss chest. And so the record continues. That has been bad for me almost every time I've used it so far. I want to say like far higher than the 40% of the time that event is bad. I know it says 50% good face, 50% bad face, but it actually has 20% neutral face, 40% good face, 40% bad face. That's 32, and then afterwards this will be just 7, 32, 7, 30. Yeah, that's not enough. So we'll go there and then firebomb the backliner. Wave protect. I could have actually just protected and struck there. So the enemy on this turn is attacking for like 11 in a high Ascension, but yeah, I'm not going to be able to tell you for this one in particular, I guess. I'm going to Fasting and Defend, just make sure. That's an 11. So they could be attacking or they could be fleeing this turn. Unfortunately, I cannot tell you which. I'm going to use Liquid Memories to pull back the... I guess Bowling Bash? No. I'm going to pull back the Vault. Sands of Time strike Vault. Just skipping that turn the enemy was about to have. And they're defending. Okay, so that means this turn they're trying to run away. Fasting again, another Perseverance and Weave. I do like having one copy of Perseverance in the deck. Upgrading a card each hand is pretty good. I'm assuming some base familiarity with certain events like that. That event either lets me upgrade a card or I get the Warp Tongs at the start of each of your turn, upgrade a random card in your hand for the rest of the combat. And you also take a Pain Curse in your deck, which deals damage HP to you, not damage. Deals an HP worth of damage to you every single time you play a card while Pain is in your hand. The Lots Hungry Face is one of the bad options from the previous Face Trader event, and the next non-boss chest you open is empty as a direct result of it. I want something else in this hand. Ugh. Strike and then Vault, I guess. Just skip my enemy's attack pattern. So you're doing anywhere between 7 and 12 damage. You're doing 7 Ascension 2. Yeah, you're doing 7 damage, and the backliner is doing either 7 with a vulnerability stack on it or 13. Again, these are vague-ish numbers. I just know they're all attacking. Either of these two could be doing a status effect. Next turn, this Slaver has the ability to prevent me from playing attacks. Okay. Yes, that was the smaller attack with weakness, and then the backliner didn't make me vulnerable at least. Not loving this so far. And now I'm vulnerable, which is the worst. Bowling Bash is now 24 to a target. Not enough to kill the backliner, but that plus the strikers. That's what we got to do then. Then wave of the hand and empty body. Oh, just in case it wasn't entirely clear at the time, Bowling Bash deals 7 damage for each enemy in combat. So the more enemies that are currently in the combat, the far more effective it is. Alright, so now that everyone's weakened, I should be pretty comfortable not taking too much damage for the rest of the fight. I made sure to attack the frontliner there just so that if I am weakened, still getting double damage is enough to kill the frontliner. Okay. But that'll be enough as well. Knowing that the frontliner is only dealing 7 and then downgraded to 5 due to the weakness, I know that I can stack more weakness safely there. Again, just as long as I have the vigilance at the end of the turn, that's fine. I'd love a Fear No Evil in this deck. It'd be extremely useful. This enemy is doing the same attack every single turn. Just in case you're a little concerned about what's going on. Yep, same attack every turn. It only has the one. Tomorrow, at the start of your turn, gain 1 mantra, as well as foreign influence, carve reality, and crush joints. We're putting a lot of cards in this deck that don't necessarily actually do what we what the whole dex archetype is supposed to be. Not exactly loving that. Yeah, so that was the Norse Hungry Face triggering and eating that relic there. Wave of the hand, defend, vault. I'm not going to get back to vault later on and want to use it then. So the first turn, the enemy is typically attacking for 7 by 3. But with weakness, it'll be 5 by 3. Oh, 6 by 3, as it turns out. Again, my numbers are just going to be slightly off. I should still be decent with the generals, though. So either the enemy is attacking for another 6 by 3 this turn, or they're going to debuff me by making me weak, vulnerable, and frail. Okay. So now that they've done the enfeebling spores, you don't get vulnerable. Sorry. I was immediately thinking, hang on, is that right? Yeah, I'm not vulnerable. But with the enfeebling spores, I now know that the enemy is going to do the 6x3 attack for 2 more turns, then enfeebling spores. Then 6x3 attack 2 turns, then enfeebling spores. It just toggles between those. It's just recognizing where you are in that toggle that's important. Crush joints, eruption, sands of time. Tranquility, anti-calm. Love that. Wallop is also pretty good. I need more calm triggers in the deck right now. So I know for a fact that the sneaky gremlin in the front line is attacking this turn, the shield gremlin is defending, and the gremlin leader could be either attacking or buffing. So I kill the frontliner just in case. Backline is not attacking. Okay. So because there is 1 minion off the board, the gremlin leader now has the option either to attack or to summon 2 more minions to the board. I'm hoping it's not attacking. Okay, it's a summon. Good. I'm gonna go Crush Joints and Vigilance this turn. Just trying to set up for much better later turns. Again, that's another buff. Same condition holds that I mentioned last time. So, empty mines. I don't have enough damage in the deck yet. We just need more damage. I'll Trank, Wave of the Hand, Defend. Defend, Strike, I guess. I'm very glad the Gremlin Leader attacked there. I don't want more minions on the board. However, I know as a result of them having attacked there, they're not attacking this turn. So I'm going to abuse that knowledge by throwing a bunch of damage at them. Knowing that I wasn't going to be taking that the damage that turn. So it's a mix of the things that I was talking about last episode of knowing the moves a couple turns in advance for the sake of the Watcher, as well as the Runic Dome, meaning you don't necessarily know what the current turn is. So you have to do 2 different levels of prediction, but you can get there. It's not that bad. Halt. Gain 4 block. If you're in Wrath, gain 14 additional block. There was also a Sash Whip in there, which is effectively the inverted version of Crush Joints. It applies weakness, and if the last card played this combat was an attack, it'll do it. Okay. Oh, that was a protect. Damn, I thought that was a defend. My bad. So all of these enemies are gaining 4 strength at the end of their turn as part of their ritual. So they're currently doing 6 damage, 6 damage, 6 damage. 4 strength? Normal enemies are deadlier. Oh, wow. They actually grow that fast. Cool. 6, 6, 6, and then 10, 10, 10, 14, 14, 14, etc., etc., etc. You know how numbers go. When they're weakened, they're doing 25% less than that. So that's why they didn't do exactly the number that I was talking about there. One down. So 10 and 10 means 7 and 7 is actually the incoming. So an 8 and a 5 is almost enough to block me for that. But I will need to kind of rush these enemies down because they do get stronger and stronger and stronger. Use Indignation there and then Vault. Just wanted to get some vulnerability on these enemies, and as it turns out, that works out perfectly. Sanctity, again, a new card. Gain 6 block. If the last card played this combat was a skill, draw 2 cards. It's fine. Not really what I'm looking for right now. Please give me some stance stuff. Gave me 1 stance-related card. Thanks, game. Maybe I take the Stone Calendar at the end of turn 7, deal 52 damage to all enemies. You always take the Pendant with this character. Always. Because if you stack double damage from Pendant and double damage from Wrath, or triple damage, God forbid, from the Divinity on top of one another, you can just suddenly end fights with a little bit of careful planning before them. Because we're currently playing the Watcher and I'm doing this as like a little bit of an introductory kind of thing to the Watcher, I don't necessarily want to dilute the card pool with a bunch of cards from other colors. That said, if I was playing a low Ascension run and I wasn't necessarily doing it for that reason, I'd be taking that. Getting cards from other colors, like especially getting strength from other colors, is really good. The only problem is, if I do that, suddenly my stance thing is no longer real. Should I just give up on stance dancing right now? Because it's not working for me. I don't know. I can take Ragnarok because it's cheap. Whenever you enter Wrath, draw 2 cards. We only have 2 ways to enter Wrath. But we do need card draw as well, so I guess I'll take that. Whenever you change stances, gain 4 block, sure. I'm going to try and make it a stance build to the point that I may actually end up dying trying to make it a stance build. So the backliner is attacking for 5/2. The frontliner could either be attacking or buffing. Yep, and it attacks for 6/1 in the second level of Ascension. So on this turn, the Chosen in the backline is using Hex. Hex means anytime that I cast something that is not an attack, I put a Dazed in my deck. Dazed is effectively just a junk card that will exhaust itself at the end of the turn, but it denies me a draw. Frontliner could, again, either be attacking or buffing. That's a buff. Let's go Tranquility. And then Vault. Couldn't really afford to do anything else there, unfortunately. Okay. Mental Fortress, Empty Body. Then I can Crush Joint, strike the back line, and the front line could be attacking for a pretty severe amount at this point, so I'll also throw out the Perseverance there. Yep, that's your serious amount. Very glad I did that. Having just attacked, I trust this bird not to attack, but only because I can't not trust it to right now. That hurt. See, the thing is, I still had to kill the backline of that turn, so I was still going to be playing that way. Take a pre-upgraded Worship now that I have Tomorrow. And I have to rest here. At the start of your turn, gain 2 Mantra. Is this a Divinity build now? I don't like it being a Divinity. It's a Divinity build. I need the damage from it. So I'm just trying to get the enemies' stats away from them. They're summoning this turn, so I don't need to worry about them damaging. Just trying to get their stacks of artifact away. Rush down. Defend, and then I'll Cross Joints on the frontliner and then Bowling Bash them. The midliner is attacking this turn for 7/2. The orb could be attacking for 8, or it could be stealing a card from my deck. I won't know. what devotion it sold from my deck. The Bronze Automaton will attack, not attack, attack, not attack. It'll alternate between those. Managed to get Devotion out there by killing Backliner, so now we know the Bronze Automaton's attacking this turn. I can Worship, but why would I Worship right now? There's no benefit. I'm going to Wave of the Hand, Vigilance, and Perseverance. The idea here is I just want Weak on the enemy to start stacking. So, not this turn, but next turn, the enemy is going to be very, very cruel, and I'm going to be very, very sad about it. But right now, I might as well get as much damage in as I possibly can. I'm not going to use Eruption here just because I'm scared of what the enemy is going to do next turn. They've got a Hyper Beam that they're charging up right now, and right now it's active. I might already be dead. I've got 2 HP left. Wild. All right. Enemy's not attacking this turn. In fact, they're stunned. Strike. Sands of Time. The Stone Calendars are about to go off. Guess I'll play that just for 5 Mantra. There's no need to play anything else. Incredible. Eruption, Ragnarok. We live! Duplication Potion as well as another Devotion. Yeah, this is now... So Daviform was actually there, and oh my god, I skipped past it. Ryan. Ryan, stop. Fusion Hammer? I don't really need to upgrade those Devotions actually here. Yeah, need the extra energy, I'll take it. Alright. So the Daviform is, at the start of your turn, gain an energy, increase the energy gain every turn as well. It's a 3 mana power, it's ethereal, upgrade it, it loses ethereal. Ethereal being exhaust if it's in your hand at the end of the turn. I don't really want to try and go to the heart with this build, but I will. So the enemy now is attacking for a pretty decent chunk of my HP. Should be either 10 or 15 before the weakness modifier. And if it's 10, they add a burn to my draw pile and discard pile. And then they just gain 3 strength every turn and do the same thing. So I don't really think I need to continue going through that one. Defend with an empty body. Should be comfortable here as well. Let's empty mine first. Worship. Crush Joints. Ragnarok. Hey, fear no evil. If the enemy intends to attack, enter calm. Gotta love it. Been asking for it for a while, in fact. C2 Madness. Don't want those in this deck. Lose my max HP instead. Ooh. Yeah. Because I'm taking the left path after this as well. Yeah, this gives you the ability to immediately go to the boss. I don't know why that event exists. Personally, I don't really think it's should be there. So the Exploder is definitely attacking this turn, but either of the others could be attacking, or they could be doing a different debuff. The Repulsor adds 2 Dazed into my deck, and the Spikers, well, debuff is a self-buff, actually. They increase their own Thorn stacks. Great. Vault, because there's really not much else I get to do that turn. It's Crush Joints, and the backliner, for the most they can attack for is... Most they can attack for is a 7. And they don't often do it at all. Fine. I mean, ideally, I could just wait for the stone calendar to go off. Yeah, in fact, I will do. Be the easiest way to take care of the enemy. There we are. End of this turn, stone calendar goes off, killing the enemy. It's another wave of the hand, but it's up against Mental Fortress and Study. Study is at the end of your turn, shuffle an insight into your draw pile. Upgrades to only be 1 cost. Honestly, don't think I need any of those. I'm going for a very specific type of build, and Mental Fortress isn't part of it. Like, what I need right now is actually damage. Specifically, like, retained damage cards. So this turn, the enemy is either attacking for 13 or they are weakening me. I'll Vault. Fine. Yeah, weakness. So they should be attacking this turn then. I don't do much damage this turn, pretty much regardless of what I do. So it's... Defends, empty body. And Ragnarok Sands of Time. Devotion, Fasting, Mental Fortress, Defend. Okay, so now we're set up to get Devotion like every other turn, or rather, so we're getting 6. Is it 6 right now? Actually, hang on. Devotion. At the start of your turn, gain 5 mantra. Yeah, because we had an upgraded Devotion and an unupgraded Devotion played, and then we've also got Tomorrow on top of that. So every second turn, we just are in Divinity. We just need more damage in the deck to support it. So now that the enemy is counted down, they're starting to do giant damage turns. This is going to be a problem. It's Eruption. Indignation for the vulnerability. I wanted to... 120. That'll be fine, actually. I'm going to use Duplication Potion, 120, and then 130 for the kill. Duvidolve. Reach curse in your deck. Start each combat with 1 strength. Yeah, I'm not going to remove my curses anymore. I'll take Wish, but I don't really desperately want it here. Fine. This could be rough. In fact, I'm going to use my Power Potion here. Fine. Not a great turn, but we'll start getting our devotions out faster, I guess. Sands of Time has to hit the back line. So they attack for a small amount and add a wound into your deck the first time, and then the second time they do a giant hit. The The Reptomancer could be attacking this turn, which is why I kind of want to get the wave of the hand out here. And they are a pretty giant amount. Very glad I did that then. It's nowhere near as much defense as I was hoping to get from that. Now the frontliners sacrifices themselves against me for a giant amount of damage. That fight suddenly turned real bad for me. Devotion, Mental Fortress. I'm going to wish for strength. I'll strike, trank at the end of the turn, and then vault. Let's turn on Rush Down. Indignation for the vulnerability, and then Worship. Wave of the hand and then Empty Body. I took a ridiculous amount of damage to Pain, but I've got the ability to rest after this. So it could have been significantly worse. Not liking how often the enemy is weakening me here. Good. Non-screw every time you play 10 attacks, gain an energy, and another Bowling Bash, I think, actually, because I really need help with the AoEs. Mercury Hourglass at the start of your turn, deal 3 damage to all enemies. Obviously, it was going to be a rest there. Full Mantra, shuffle an insight into your draw pile. I don't think I need that. I'll take another Perseverance, just because... like, defense and offense are currently our problem. To the point that, like, if I had the ability not to face the heart after this, after these rounds, I would elect to not face the heart. The problem is, because I've collected all of the keys, now I have to fight the heart. So the first turn, the Spheric Guardian defends. The second turn, it does 10 damage. The third turn, it does 10 by 2 damage, and then it repeats. Rush Down, Indignation for the draw. That'll murder the backliner quite easily for us. Let's strike. The Exploder explodes in another turn, dealing a bunch of damage to me, so obviously I'm going to try and prevent that. Sweet. Gosh, we are really not finding damage. That's really concerning. This isn't going to be the Reptomancer, so I'm fine with it. Reptomancer is the worst fight for us. What with the whole we don't deal AoE damage well enough. Drop that and pop out a Devotion. Hopefully the enemy's not attacking this turn. They are. That sucks. Can't worship my way into a Ragnarok here, unfortunately. Still get a decent chunk there. Let's go. Enemy can't use the same thing 3 turns in a row, so I know they aren't attacking here. I'm going to wish for the strength and then go into Tranquility. Alright. Mental Fortress Rush Down. Defend, worship, I guess. I really can't afford to throw out the Eruption. Double the enemy's damage. Means that I'll have to get rid of my Protect and my Perseverance, and I need those for later turns. Never mind, the enemy wasn't attacking that turn. I was very, very, very certain they were going to be attacking that turn. Oh well, I was wrong. It'll happen. Strike. Sands. I'll vault, so I get to take another turn in a row. Back in this mode, which means that it is strike. Ragnarok time. Omamori, negate the next 2 curses you obtain. I kind of want curses in my deck right now as a result of the Duvu doll giving us extra strength, so I'm going to turn down the Omamori. And I'll take another pre-upgraded. Yeah, I still have to. Rest. So battle him will give us some smites in hand that will actually help us deal damage. Heal to full HP, lose 9. Well, I'm going to be healing in the next space anyway, so I don't necessarily want to do that. I'm going to take Foreign Influence as well to try and generate a really good attack at the right time. So the first turn, Deka attacks, and then Donu attacks, and then Deka attacks, and then Donu attacks. Donu, while they are not attacking, will buff both Donu and Deka's damage, and Deka will, I think, statuses? The day statuses, I think. I'm gonna drink the regen potion, because I am actually a little bit terrified about this. That's each of them getting the strength. Fine, I'll put Flurry of Blows there. At the very least, it comes back when I go into... my Devotion. Okay. Let's go Eruption, Indignation, Flurry of Blows. I'll empty body to exit that stance, getting the Flurry of Blows back. And then I'll Worship, getting back Flurry of Blows, defend, and throw a Sands of Time against the backliner. Got double damage to my next attack. Hoping that's like a Ragnarok or something. Kind of looking like it won't be. Alright, I'm gonna Fasting, Wave of the Hand, Vigilance here. I just want to get all of the enemies weakened. Flurry of Blows for 20 damage when there's still a Bowling Bash that just like insta-kills the target in my deck is wasteful. And that one's just double protect this turn. So Empty Mind gives us back 2 extra energy. I'm going to do that. Then I will Wish for Strength. Okay. Halt. Ragnarok. Good. Flurry of Blows hits the backliner, and then Tranquility brings back Flurry of Blows. Hits the frontliner. I forgot who attacked last, so I defended again there. Oops. Okay. Devotion, Wave, defend, battle him, and then I'm going to Vault. Then this one's Wave, Vigilance, Perseverance, enemy attacks, and now I get into my damage turns. Boom. Right. So that's a win of Ascension 2. If we were still unlocking our Ascension levels, that would count as a win. However, in extra to that, at the very end, I'm going to try and go for the heart. I do love Talk to the Hand. Deal 7 damage whenever you attack this enemy, gain 3 block, but I also love Establishment. I do retain a fair few cards. It's just my energy is not a problem. I'll take Talk to the Hand then. I'm very much hoping for some damage in here. That's a Ragnarok. That's damage. Sure. Take that and bounce. The other things in here were all cards we've seen before. So on this turn, any of them can be attacking. I know this one is because I got the if the enemy is attacking bonus there. Okay, I need to save the Ancient Potion for the start of the next fight. So I know that the backliner is also going to be attacking this turn now, and that's actually going to be a problem because that's a lot of damage it does. So I'm going to try and turn my character around so that I take less damage to the backliner. Never mind, I was wrong about which one was doing the most damage. See, these enemies have less deterministic attack patterns, so that'll happen. Great, and I again turned around at the wrong time. Sweet. Perfect. Just gonna go into the final fight with no HP. That's okay. Who needs HP? Who needs ya? Ice Cream energy is now conserved between turns, as well as Crush Joints for some more vulnerability, I guess. Okay. I'm gonna defend because the enemy has Beat of Death whenever I play a card, take a damage. So defend, devotion, worship. So not next turn, but the turn after I will change. I'm also gonna get the artifact here so the enemy's vulnerability on me is prevented. It's weird, this deck doesn't have damage and it doesn't have defense. It's just missing every... Yeah, we're dead. Like, as in right now, we die. Brilliance would be the perfect card for this deck. Deal 23 damage, deals additional damage equal to mantra gains this combat. Unfortunately, we couldn't find it. I was desperately hoping we would. Yeah. So you need pretty ridiculous offense and defense as you go into the heart. And unfortunately, like, by the time I'd picked up all of the keys, because I just wanted to at least see how we were going against the heart, this deck had become something that was not going to be capable of doing that. Oh, well, it's okay. That still counts as the win for Ascension 2. For the moment, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Slay the Spire. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves. There is a playlist in the description down below with all my content on the game, past, present, and future. From this episode on, like, this episode obviously was a little bit faster than the last episode, and it'll continue doing that until we're back to the normal speed that typical subscribers enjoy. And that, I feel, is kind of like a necessary pace for games like this, lest it be, you know, like a 4-hour run of reading out every single thing and every single upgrade. Eventually, at some point, you do have to pick up the pace. That said, hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves in the meantime. Pick up the pace. It's 53 minutes still. like I'm one of those YouTubers making 10-minute videos. 53 is fast for me. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time.